Let's go, man. Y'all know what time it is. It's your OG Chris Murray. I'm back in the building, bringing you those top picks from pick 11 all the way down to pick 1 on who will be potentially picking in their slots for the DML Madden 25 draft. All right, y'all. So, for everybody that's new, that's joining the show, pretty much we went through picks 31 all the way down to pick 12 on where we think each user in the DML will be finishing at the end of the high stakes season. For everybody that's pretty much new to what high stakes is, it's pretty much where the DML puts all chips in and each user has to battle it out and kind of secure their spot at where they will be picking in Madden 25. But you know what? We ain't here to hold y'all up. Let's dive into these picks. Woo! There you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's on the board. On the board, and we have some heavy hitters. So let's dive into it. At pick 11, we have Never Quit, the owner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, securing that slot. Now, this right here, I feel like is a comfortable spot for Never Quit with the way how he's been playing so far and pretty much running and becoming the face of the NFC South. Now, with a lot of EA drops today in regards to what they're going to be doing with NCAA and how they're going to try to bundle Madden 25 with NCAA, is getting a lot of guys hyped. So that's now adding an extra layer of competitiveness with the way that guys are going to approach this season, knowing that there's a whole lot extra more on the line. So I feel like Never Quit is going to have to play his best season, man. But I feel like the way that his schedule right now is shaped up with him getting that kind of, I want to say, second place or third place schedule, I feel like he's definitely going to still be able to manage to get right there at pick 11 or probably 2 slots. The best I would say is like pick 9. But moving on next, at pick 10, we have Mr. Z, the owner of those Las Vegas Raiders. Now, Mr. Z came in last season and he did his thing. He did his thing. He managed to secure the number 1 spot in the AFC, which is very impressive because that AFC conference is definitely loaded. But guys got that tape on you now. Guys got that film. Guys got that experience. So I feel like Mr. Z is going to get hit with a different level of competition this season. But I like a lot of things he did this offseason, man. He filled in a lot of problem areas on his roster. He brought back majority of his squad where the team that managed to get that number 1 spot in the AFC. But I just want to see how he's going to be able to compete now with his division mates, such as Vitamin, who seemed like he disappeared and fell off the face of the earth and wasn't interested in Madden. He's coming back ready to compete. You have Dub with those Broncos, who by far is always coming out looking to compete. You have Centaur, the new owner. No, not sorry about that. Not Centaur, but my man, Miss Billy, who dropped in the chat, hey, Billy's here. Who made some key moves, some key plays this off season. So I'm looking to see how Mr. Z is going to respond to that. This is his first high stakes. Sometimes this can make or break guys, and I want to see how Mr. Z handles this, man. But this is my question mark pick right here. This could easily be him picking higher than 10 or lower than 10. So I'm definitely going to be tuned in to see if we got this one right. But moving on next, we got Sweets and those New England Patriots picking at pick 9. Now this right here is this thing I was describing about Mr. Z. But it's a little bit different. Sweets is a well-seasoned veteran who knows what it takes to win. This is a guy who's going to compete from the beginning of the cycle all the way to the end of the cycle. This is going to be a make or break slot for Sweets. And the reason why I say that is this right here. Everyone knows that the New England Patriots is Sweet's team. With the key pieces that the New England Patriots drafted in this year's draft, is that enough to get Sweets back into New England? And the reason why I'm saying this is because does that mess with Sweet's motivation to make a deep run and really win high stakes, knowing that nobody really wants to play with New England? But I like the pieces that New England drafted, so I might want to spend another Madden cycle just playing with my team. So I say all that to say, this is another pick that I'm going to say I'm going to put a question mark on. Because if Sweets comes out and competes to want to win high stakes and to want to probably go in a different direction and Madden 25, I don't know. But if Sweets come out and say, hey, it is what it is, man. I'm ready just to close out this chapter, to just reopen a new chapter in New England next Madden 25, I feel like that's going to play a part too. So I'm going to be watching picks 10 and pick 9. I'm going to be watching Sweets and those Patriots and Mr. Z and those Raiders this season. I'm going to be watching them, man. It's going to be some teams I'm going to be tuning into. But the most surprising pick at pick 8, we have the back-to-back Super Bowl winner, AJ, the owner of those New York Jets. Now, a lot of people, after hearing all what I just said as far as his intro, might question, OG, why AJ, the back-to-back Super Bowl champ, pick at 8? Why is that? Well, the mock draft felt like this was a good spot for AJ. Now, one of the things I know as a previous Super Bowl winner in the DML is there's 2 things that go into you coming out. Well, I'm going to say 3. You coming out each season competing on a high level. The first one is having that motivation after you got your first one and your second one. The second thing is injuries. Keeping your squad healthy. Making sure that you got the key positions that you know where you're going to fall short at. Well, positioned. The third thing is Madden BS, which we all tend to go through. Now, with it being high stakes and AJ already being in by far one of the toughest divisions in Madden 24, the question comes to mind, are those guys in his division at their ends meet with AJ running that division and bringing a third banner to New York? So I feel like it's going to be a tough one for AJ, man. It's going to be a tough one. But I know that this guy, the way he competes, isn't going to mind this at all. But I feel like this is a fair spot due to what AJ is going to have to go through, because there was a lot of users who kind of took off last season, and I'm not taking anything away from AJ because he did it. He won at the highest level against one of by far the top 2 users in DML history when it comes to Ember and those Green Bay Packers. So I feel like AJ is definitely going to use this as some motivation. I'm looking to see what he's going to do with it. But moving on next, at pick 7, we have Hot Tub and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, with Hot Tub taking a major blow this offseason, losing 2 key players, one on the offensive side with Michael Parsons, defensive side with Michael Parsons, and on the offensive side, the wide receiver name can't come to mind, but he was a 99 superstar X Factor wide receiver. Some users would by far would have fell out of the top 10, but with Hot Tub track record, winning multiple high stakes seasons, and the way that he plays as far as stick skills, I can see why the mock still has him in the top 10. But a lot of users, man, don't fear playing Hot Tub how they used to back in the day. So I feel like this is right here is going to be one of those battle test seasons for the Dallas Cowboys, because he has a user in his division, 2 users in his division who feel like they have a shot every chance when they get on the sticks with him, and they're not going to lay down and just take it. No Diddy. But I'm definitely looking to see what Hot Tub is going to do this season with the Cowboys, knowing that he's in a division now where guys are hungry, and this is the season when they're all in. But moving on, next to pick 6, we have Tight Work and the Miami Dolphins. This is another user who's in a loaded division, and one question comes to mind when I look at the Miami Dolphins is, can he get his guys across the finish line healthy, man? Because it just seems like the injury bug lands heavy in Miami every season. I don't know if it's the beautiful weather, the palm trees, the women, the nightlife. I don't know what it is, but Tight has to figure out how to get his guys to the dance healthy. I played against this squad, and boy, when I tell you, some people are going to be in trouble when they go against this Miami team. Whew, they're going to be in trouble. But I can see why the mock has him picking at 6. I feel like it's a comfortable spot for Tight. He definitely could creep his way into the top 3, 2, 4 potential spot. But definitely good spot, man. Definitely good spot. But moving on, next we have my Seattle Seahawks picking at pick 5. This is a good pick, man. My guy's been competitive. We've been consistent all cycle. Haven't missed the playoff at all. Made it to multiple championships. Won a Super Bowl. But just the same thing I'm gonna mention about Tight is the same thing I said about my squad, man. It's about just getting to the dance healthy. There's a tight cap. Our money acting funny right now in Seattle, so we definitely got to make sure that we keep our guys healthy. But yeah, we're gonna come out, we're gonna compete. But yeah, we ready, man. We ready. But enough about them Seahawks, because we know what we're gonna do. We trying to win high stakes. We ain't trying to be picking that pick 5. But moving on, next to pick 4, we have Vandy and those Baltimore Ravens. Now, I like this pick, but I'm gonna tell you why I don't think this is, and I'm gonna get into a little bit more depth with these next couple picks. This is the reason why I feel like Vandy can slip out of the top 5. That offensive play cooldown is going to hurt a lot of users. That one only being allowed to have one hot route is going to hurt a lot of users. And I feel like after watching and also playing with Vandy, he's definitely a user who makes you think when you're going up against his offense that not being able to have those money plays in your back pocket is going to cripple a lot of guys. And I feel like it's going to be like a double-edged sword for Vandy and those Baltimore Ravens. Either they're going to come out and do their thing, or they're going to be battling, scraping, and crawling to get into at least that wild card slot. But I'm looking to see what this guy's going to do, because he has won a banner this cycle. So he showed that he can get to the dance, and he showed that he can bust a move and win it. But I'm definitely going to be paying attention to those Baltimore Ravens. That's a third team that's going to be on my watch list. But moving on next to my division mate, we have him picking at pick 3, Andy, the owner of those San Francisco 49ers. Now, this is a guy right here who comes out, man, and just plays the game. You know, he's going to always throw a monkey wrench into the game, where whether it's tying the game, winning on a scoring drive, or going for 2 just to win the game. This is a guy who just throws it all out there on the line, man. Whether it's doing the onside kick or doing things that users wouldn't typically do, Andy's that guy. And the way that his roster is built, I can definitely see him picking high at least in the top 3, because that roster is filthy. It doesn't lack anything. Whenever you have the new birth of Terrell Owens out there in San Fran, combined with Jamar Chase and the running back and the tight end, and just so much offensive talent. But then you go to the defensive side, and it's just so much talent that's loaded up there. I feel like the only thing that can kill Andy's deep run to the playoffs if he gets too creative and too careless, to where as though he just wants to get to the playoffs and he can turn that switch on. Now, in the past, I stated he's just one of them users who he reminds me of the wild card Giants, where when Eli was there and they were doing their thing, all they had to do was just get to the wild card and they would make their run and beat up on the New England Patriots, then they'd do it again. But this is the season where I feel like them losses can come back and bite you in the behind. So we're gonna see, man. But so far we got him picking at pick 2. Now I'm at pick 3. Moving on to pick 2, we have Bruce and the Jacksonville Jaguars picking at pick 2. Now, with that being said, Bruce is a user, man, who drafts well, balanced stick skill, decent defensive mind type user. But for some reason, man, I just have to say it. I don't know if it's the Jacksonville curse, the Duval curse, the Bruce curse, but Madden, it's just not fucking with Bruce, man. It just seems like every time when that momentum is going, that momentum train is going, man, and the Jacksonville Jaguar look like they about to get over that hump, Madden strikes again. Whether it's him being up by 21 and somehow letting the game slip through his hands, whether it's a key injury, whether it's a key turnover, it just seems like Madden continues to strike every single time at Bruce. And some games Bruce should not just be losing. Now, is that going to still be creeping up Bruce's back? No diddy. Or will Bruce manage to be able to tuck that and put all that away? That's going to be a decision that you're going to have to tune in and look. Now, I know a lot of y'all is looking and like, hey, where is pick 1 at? We decided to leave that to the people. Out of all of the teams we just broke down, who do you feel like is going to be picking in the Madden 25 DML draft? Now we're going to throw a filler out there. If you manage to drop a comment on who you feel like will be winning the DML high stakes season, we will be putting $50 towards your Madden 25 purchase. Okay, so y'all just seen EA might be releasing deluxe bundle edition with NCAA. That's $50 that you will have less to worry about. So I'm your host, OG Chris Murray, man. Let's lock in. Let's ball out. I'm out.